Hello and welcome to DFS Coach Talk. We are here for week 6 of the NFL, and I am joined by my two partners in NFL. That's Mr. Josh Crash Davis and Mr. Stephen Miller Time Miller. And we have a very good week of football ahead, some interesting games, some unknown names up towards the top, or at least not famous names up towards the top of the ownership. So it should be a really fun one. We're looking forward to going through it. We're going to cover everything. We're going to give away some tickets and do the whole thing. So how are you doing today, Steven?
Doing great, Coach. Doing great. We're having some storms here in Arizona, so it doesn't happen very often. So my internet's kind of been going in and out. So hopefully I'm able to last for this entire session. So
I hope so. It looks good right now. So we'll cross our fingers. Hopefully it stays in there. Crash, how about you?
Doing well. We just got back. We just went carry out, but we got a little pre-birthday dinner or whatever, if you will. And
wow.
A little dinner there and ready to get into NFL. It's going to be a really good slate, I think. So I'm excited for it.
Well, we'll definitely want to say happy birthday to you. I know you're off tomorrow, but it's the big 4-0 for him, Stephen. Can you imagine he's that old?
Nice. Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Big 4-0. So you're not there yet, are you, Steve?
I am there. I am the big 4-0 right now.
So I'm the only one that didn't get there yet then. Wow. That's impressive. Yeah. I still got a little ways to go.
You're not fooling anyone, Coach.
David Dulac, how are you, my friend? He's the first one in there. He beat Rodney to the punch. So hello, David. Hello, Rodney. RJ, what's going on? Boy from Cali, Gizmo Perk. Sorry about that. Tony A, Aaron Sampson, Just Cap Now, also known as Leighton. Congratulations. It's awesome having Leighton, by the way, who's Just Cap Now. He's back on the Coach Talk team. He was with us 2.5 years ago when we started, and life's turned back around time-wise for him, and he's able to jump back in with us. So welcome back to the team, Cap. Let's see. Bev's in here. How you doing, Bev? Let's win some tickets today. Bev's won some in the past. Let's see. Rose is in there. Andy Stark. Is that Iron Man? I don't know. Isn't Stark? Who's Iron Man? What's the name of the guy? Isn't it? It's something Stark.
Tony
Stark. There you go. Sorry about that, Andy. Close. Let's see. Who else did I miss? Anybody? Paint Blank SM, Mr. Dead President, is in there also. Awesome. Yeah, that's it. Wow. So you went for the younger lady too. Gee whiz, man. You got it all happening, Crash. I just one of these days, hopefully I'll follow in your footsteps. But anyway, hello to everybody. We're going to try to keep this a little shorter like we did last week. It seemed to be a little bit more palliative to everybody out there, that they can get it in, watch it, check it out. A lot of people checked it out Sunday morning as well. But we'll go over some statistics. We'll go over some ownership, some leverage plays, and of course our top plays all over the place. We'll also give you our top boom fantasy picks of the week. And I want to thank them for being our presenting sponsor. They have a link connected right here with us on YouTube, on Twitter, and you can also find it on our website, dfscoachtalk.com. If you're watching on YouTube, give us a quick thumbs up, hit the subscribe button and the alert button so you know when our podcast posts, which we have all kinds of stuff going this week, not just NFL and MMA and NASCAR, but the start of the NBA. So we are getting ready to go here full board at Coach Talk. And if you want to join us with the Lucas special, you can see it going across the bottom of the screen. Just go to dfscoachtalk.com and you can catch it right there. All right, we're diving in. I want to ask a real quick question just to give an overview real quickly from you guys to set the stage, and we'll break down by position. As far as buys or key matchups, some stuff like that you want to just throw out there right off the bat. Do you have anything, Steven?
Obviously, maybe the game of the year coming up with the Bills and the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be a real exciting game. I wish it was a primetime game rather than the afternoon game. Wish it was a Sunday night or Monday night game. This past Thursday night game was absolutely terrible. They need to get better primetime games out there.
The Sunday night game's going to be good, though.
Yeah. I
think the Sunday night game is going to be good, but then you got Patriots and Broncos on.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you know what? It's good. I'm glad the NFL is getting
charged.
They did this Amazon Prime crap on Thursdays and all that. So good for them. I hope they get the worst ratings they ever got, because it sucks that you have to go through all that to get football. It's just ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's whatever it is. I'm cool with it. Oh, man, David Dulac's coaching his son's team in basketball. All right, let me know, man. See this guy behind me? You can see my son Dawson up there. That's when I coached him with the Texas Legends. They did cutouts of all the player pictures. Pretty cool. So I've done a lot of youth coaching. So David, just give me a shout and let me know. Also, I need to get a hold of a couple of folks here that DM me today. It's just been a wild day. So anyway, anything else that you want to throw out there, Crash?
So we've got the Detroit Lions are on a bye, and normally we wouldn't bring them up, but they've been one of the top offenses in the NFL this year, so they're definitely DFS viable. And then the Raiders are also on a bye, so no Devontae Adams, no Amon-Ra St. Brown, just two of the top receivers right now. So just wanted to throw that out.
So both St. Browns are out this week. That's interesting. Both on a bye.
St. Brown, he played on Thursday, but you probably didn't see him because Dante Pettis was getting all the targets. So for what it was worth, I mean, there's probably like 3 targets in the whole game. It seemed like that were actually caught. So
craziness.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna dive in, and we'll start out with the quarterback position. Steven, you got the helm here. What are you looking at?
I like the matchup with the Cardinals against the Seahawks. I think both those guys are pretty reasonable in pricing. Sure, their ownership is in a super high. Geno Smith has been playing like an all-star. Kyler Murray plays like an all-star in the second half. I feel like he's going to put a full game together here soon, and maybe it's this week. But I'm really excited about that game. And I think you could play either one of those quarterbacks this week. So,
okay, and right now Geno is projected at about 11%, so that's a good number. I mean, pretty contrarian as it goes. The top quarterback, of course, as far as projections go, is Josh Allen but only at 16.5. So. Not like it's craziness. And then Geno Smith is second at 11.3. So out of the top 17 guys, fellas, only 2 quarterbacks projected high. Actually, it's way worse than that. It's now that I look below that, the next guy is Tom Brady at 9%. Wow. So nobody's going with quarterbacks this week. That's sort of bizarre. Any huge fades for you, Steven?
I haven't really liked how Aaron Rodgers is playing this year. So I'm going to fade Aaron Rodgers. He just doesn't look the same without Devontae Adams. So I'll fade Aaron Rodgers this week.
Now you're going to get Crash all upset. He's going to punch the screen and everything else. What about you at the quarterback spot, Crash?
Well, I mean, I like obviously Josh Allen. He's the highest projected on quarterback for a reason. I like both sides of the quarterbacks in that game. I mean, I think, you could probably go 1A, 1B with Mahomes and Allen. I think that they're interchangeable almost. So I like them both. I think it's going to be the highest scoring game of the week. And then as far as like cheaper plays, Geno Smith is one of them for me. He's probably my second favorite quarterback. And then I like Skylar Thompson a little bit against Minnesota. I like the weapons that Miami has, and I think Mike McDaniel will do a good job of putting him in a good spot where he's not making a bunch of risky plays, but he's making some, high high resulting, good
Big yardage
on the play. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, on those plays. So, I mean, you can get Tyreek in space and he can go for 60 yards. So that's the kind of thing I think we'll see. So I do like Skylar Thompson. He's only 5,000 on DraftKings, 6,300 on FanDuel, and only $20 on Yahoo. So he's just about bare minimum.
You know that Mahomes is only projected at 4.4% ownership.
Wow, that's
it's
surprising.
like this the week of the quarterback position. It's so bizarre.
Well, because I mean, why it's surprising to me, I do respect the Bills defense, but they've been dealing with injuries to Tre'Davious White. I think Micah Hyde is out for the year.
Yeah.
So they've got some serious issues in their secondary.
Jordan Poyer.
Too. Yeah, Jordan Poyer. Yeah, so there's definitely some holes, I think, in that secondary for the Bills that Mahomes can take advantage of. So I think they'll probably double and triple team Kelsey, though. So
yeah, I see that happening too.
All right, let's move on to running backs, and you've got 6 of the top 11 projected owned players happen to be running backs this week. So last week it was completely different. This week, a whole different look. People going the way of the running back. So, Crash, let's start with you. Where are you looking initially, running back wise, spend up and value?
Spend up, which it's not even that much. I like both Jeff Wilson and Ramondre Stevenson. They both have, I mean, Stevenson doesn't have the best matchup. Cleveland's run defense is okay. They're decent. But Jeff Wilson has a really good matchup against Atlanta. He's looked really good so far ever since Eli Mitchell went down. And Stevenson just has the bulk of the carries now because Damian Harris is out. So it's pretty much his job to keep or lose at this point. I think even if, when Harris comes back, if Stevenson plays well enough, he has an opportunity to take the lead role here. So I think he'll make the most of this opportunity. And I do like Stevenson. I liked him before Harris was ruled out, but I still like him. And then Benjamin with same kind of situation with James Conner out. He's in a really good spot as well against Seattle. They've had a really tough time stopping anybody on offense. So
yeah. Well, it's the secret's out for those two guys because they are prohibitive favorites. 1-2, Stevenson and Benjamin, 31 and 29% ownership shares. How about that?
Yeah.
But you can get them on the cheap. Stevenson's only $6,000, Benjamin's only $4,600. So they're going to be chalky, but man, they do make really help you build a power lineup behind them. So that's good. I will say this though, Crash, your man Jeff Wilson only 7.8% owned right now, $6,200. So that could be a sneaky play right there.
Yeah, I do. I like Jeff Wilson. I think a lot of people are going to go for pay up options. I think a lot of people are going to go to Saquon Barkley, but I think Baltimore is really going to sell out on this stopping that run. And I think they can do a decent job on him. So I wouldn't necessarily go to him. They've been a pretty good run defense this year.
And those are both Leonard Fournette and Saquon Barkley are 9-10 in top ownership, both at about 16.5%. So those are the two running backs that people are paying up for, at least initially here. So, very interesting. All right, Steven, what do you got running back wise?
Again, I'm going to go back to the Cardinals against Seahawks, like both those running backs. Kenneth Walker for Seattle, I like him with Rashad Penny being gone for the year. And then Benjamin as well with James Conner being out and Darrell Williams being out. So I like both those plays, and I think that's going to be a high scoring game too. It'll be up one of the top ones of the week. I like both those running backs. I like Breece Hall this week. Breece Hall's just getting so many opportunities. Almost had 200 yards of total yardage last week, running and receiving. Got lost 2 1-yard touchdown runs to Michael Carter. That would have totally,
broken a slate,
given them a 40 burgers. So I like Breece Hall. I actually like Travis Etienne as well. He's been trending. He's been trending in the right direction. I'm trying to give you the most value plays I see rather than just trying to put Nick Chubb in your lineup. But yeah, those are pretty much my guys for this week.
Okay. Any major fades for you? Usually you're the king of the fade.
Yeah, so I'm gonna fade Christian McCaffrey. I'm gonna fade.
You saw he's on the trade block, right?
Yeah. So I don't think they're gonna really. They might not use him the way that he should be used this week because of potential injury, and his trade value. Yeah. So I'm fading him. I'm also gonna fade. Who the heck is it?
Barkley?
No. I was going to fade Aaron Jones.
Gotcha.
Aaron Jones this week too.
Wow.
Yeah, I am. Unfortunately,
Aaron Jones and Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I'm fading the Packers this week.
Packers are going to get beat, is what you're saying. I see. Okay.
I don't know. I think it's the biggest point spread of the week. Actually, the biggest point spread is Carolina with the Rams, which I don't understand that. The Rams have been playing terribly lately, and they're probably without Aaron Donald, and who knows if Cooper Kupp's going to play. So,
for my money, Aaron Donald's the best player in the NFL, either side of the ball. Yeah, he's unblockable. He's unbelievable. So him not being in that big of a spread does seem a little crazy. But the Pack is at home against the Jets. So that could be an interesting.
I just like this. I like how the Jets are playing, and I don't really like how the Packers are playing, unfortunately, right now. And I'm just fading them this week. So
they can't lose on my 40th birthday though.
That would be dirty.
It's not going to happen, I promise. It won't happen.
Man,
and not to the Jets of all teams.
It'd be disappointing, especially after last week was a disappointment. They went all the way over to London and then blew a 17-3 lead. So
they're going to win for you, Crash. No fear.
I hope so.
I do want to point one guy out, Steven said, because he's high on my list this week, and he's also high on not just me. He's 6th overall in projected ownership, and that is Kenneth Walker in that game. He's only $5,400, 17% projection, but I think he deserves it. I think he's a good play this week as well. So definitely like that call. All right, we're going to give away 3 sets of those $3 Millie Maker tickets. So let's give away the first one. I don't see some of our regulars aren't in here. I was wanting to tease Smack because he was talking about $200 giveaways and all this stuff, but he's not even in here. All right, so the first winner, and don't forget, if I call your name, shoot me a DM at DFS Coach Talk on Twitter.
He says he's here. He says he's here. Niles.
Oh, is he here?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he just wasn't speaking up. So, King of Smack, are you giving away a $200 ticket? You're donating it? No, I'm just teasing you, man. He gave me the business on baseball earlier. By the way, if there's any major home runs hit in that game, you guys have to let me know. I definitely want to see him. I don't see King of Smack commenting. Why am I behind my comments here? I don't know what's going on.
So they're going to the 13th inning in Seattle.
It's still going?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. That is nuts. All right. The first set of tickets. And if you don't DM me, you can't get the tickets. You got to let me know your PayPal email. The winner is Gizmo Perk. Gizmo Perk. Kapawi, you're the winner of the first set of tickets. And I am going to give a quick update prior to you guys giving your wide receivers to see if you're going with chalk or with some low-owned guys. So the highest wide receiver right now projected, this is for DK, about 21% is Tyler Lockett in that game that Steven thinks will be high scoring. Stephon Diggs in the matchup against Kansas City is next. Cooper Kupp, of course, at 13%. Chris Godwin right behind him. He's up high this week. DK Metcalf, 13%. The other double-digit guys are Debo, of course. Rondale Moore, a little surprising high for him at 4,200. And then you've got Chase, Jacoby Myers, and Justin Jefferson. So those are all the guys, wide receivers, that are double digits. So, Steven, do you have any of those guys?
I do. This is kind of where I would pay up, is for the receivers. My number one receiver this week is Justin Jefferson. He's been kind of killing it lately, and he's going against Miami, and they have a terrible pass defense. So I like Justin Jefferson this week. I also like Debo this week. Debo, they're just going to keep giving him the ball in all those different ways.
Right.
So I like him. A guy that that you can pick up for less is I like Romeo Doubs this week. So there you go. Crash.
Hey, there we go.
There you go, Crash. I think Christian Watson's out, so he's not coming into the game. I think Sauce Gardner is going to be on Alan Lazard. And I like how Romeo Doubs in that matchup this week.
Yeah, and he's getting ownership. He's right, just sneaking into that 10%. So he's definitely getting some ownership too. Any big stayaways from you on those highly owned guys? Diggs?
It's a tough one. I'm going to stay away from Cooper Kupp this week.
Oh wow, your favorite player?
He's been dealing with a foot injury. He might try to play through it. I'm just worried about it this week. It's just that whole team, like I was saying earlier,
not playing.
Offensive line is not giving Stafford any time, and they don't really have a running game. Akers is out for personal reasons, so he's not going to be there. So I just think that they're gonna try their best to kind of contain Kupp, and I just don't like them this week. So
interesting, very interesting. Absolute Power, welcome to the show. All right, Crash, what about your take?
I got a little bit different opinion on Justin Jefferson, which I know last week I faded him and it was a bad fade. Yeah. But they are getting – Miami has been struggling with their secondary, but they are getting Xavier Howard back, and he's supposed to shadow Jefferson. So I could see him kind of doing that Darius Slay type thing to Jefferson. So I am going to fade Jefferson. Okay. I like Diggs as well. I mean, he's one of the, if not the highest projected on wide receiver, one of them. Now, for some pivots, I like Jamar Chase because Marshawn Lattimore is out for the Saints, so I like him.
That's big.
And I like Tyreek Hill as a pivot to Deebo Samuel as well because he's in a good spot. Jalen Waddle hasn't been getting anywhere near as many targets since Tua however you say his name, Tua, ever since he went down. Yeah. And so I do like Tyreek Hill. And then in the Arizona-Seattle game, I also like Marquise Brown, and I like Mike Evans for Tampa. Those are my top receivers.
Okay. And I did see something about Tua. Is he back next week? He got cleared for next week?
Yeah, I think he's cleared for next week, but he won't be playing this week. Yeah.
One more week without him. And again, he's not throwing the ball to Waddle much. And, with Tua back, I think that'll change probably next week. So,
right.
I don't believe Tua's playing tomorrow. Boy from Cali. What I saw was he was cleared for next week. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, and a value play. I did not mention Darius Slayton from the Giants. I like him.
Slayton from the Giants against the Cowboys or
against the Ravens?
Oh, the Ravens. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Cowboys are Sunday night. What am I thinking here?
Philly and Dallas in Philly. Yep.
Yeah, what a game. All right, excellent. Sounds good. I'll give away set of tickets number 2, and then we've got tight ends and defenses, and we'll keep on moving this show down the road. Mm-hmm. Second winner is Tony A. Tony A, you're a consistent winner. Tony A is in. So you are the second set of tickets. So give us a shout at DFS Coach Talk. Remind me, PayPal, email. We'll get those out to you. Somebody needs to win the $1 million and give us a shout out. That would be really exciting. All right. Tight ends, always a controversial subject because it's so pivotal at times. And we've got Mark Andrews right now coming in at the number 1 owned tight end projected at about 16.6%. Higbee at 12.7%, and then all the way down to Kelsey at 8.7%. So it is, according to their early ownership, not the week of the tight end. Crash, what do you think? Do you have any tight end hot plays ready for us?
Not really. I like the Arizona Seattle game for tight ends. I like Zach Ertz and Will Dissly, both sides of that game. And then I like Njoku. He's been looking pretty good for Cleveland.
Yeah.
I think that New England's corners can do a decent job on Amari Cooper. And I believe Jarvis Landry is out, if I remember, if that's correct. Actually, Jarvis Landry isn't with Cleveland anymore, I don't think. Never mind.
No.
New Orleans.
Yeah.
New Orleans.
Yeah. Whoever, I can't remember who the second wide receiver is for Cleveland off the top of my head, but
Donovan Peoples-Jones.
Yeah, Donovan Peoples-Jones. That's right. So either way, I like the tight end Njoku more than the wide receivers for Cleveland, and I think they're gonna do everything they can to stop Chubb. You know, Bill Belichick, that's what he does. He always tries to take away the number one weapon. So
he'll be stacking the box like crazy.
Exactly. So
all those tight ends that you recommended, your 3 or 4 you mentioned, are all single digits. I was looking as you were talking, so you can get pretty contrarian there for sure. Well, really, nobody other than those 3 guys I mentioned are getting much ownership. So definitely, if you're not going to go up to the big boys, you can get a pretty low owned play. What about you, Stephen? Go ahead.
Yeah, so I like a lot of the guys that Crash mentioned. I like Taysom Hill, Swiss Army knife.
That's your band now.
I think
is he on your regular?
You think he's gonna do that again though? I mean, I can see him having decent games.
I think they're gonna have to get him involved. They wouldn't have won that game last week if it wasn't for him.
Oh my God, he was unbelievable.
Yeah. So I see him, running the ball. I mean, what did he do? Ran 3 touchdowns and threw for 1.
He was out of his mind.
I mean, how do you not really get the guy? I know it's just like such hit or miss, but I mean, he's going to be involved in that game.
You called him last week, and he just absolutely went crazy. So
and then another guy with the game of the week, I think, is not Travis Kelce, but Dawson Knox. I think.
I like Dawson Knox this week too.
Dawson Knox play a role this week. He's cheap. He's a cheap guy to get. You need someone a part of that game because what Crash was saying, and what I believe is I think that's going to be a high scoring game, and I think it's a good value play to be able to get Dawson Knox into your lineup.
Yeah, I think he's in a good spot here too. That's the guy I was eyeing, and people are noticing him. He's getting 8% ownership, so he's in there with the top 7 or 8 tight ends, which is surprising, really. So I think a lot of people are seeing that fit. Also, Higbee's in that group too. Yeah. Either one of you like Higbee?
Is he? Isn't he questionable? I don't know.
Is he? Okay.
Confirmed that he's going to play.
All right. Well, let's keep a close eye on that one for sure. I'll tell you what, though, I was real impressed with Zach Ertz the other day watching him. Though he seems to be back in his key form like he used to be a couple of years ago. Yeah. So that's a guy to watch. What about Andrews though?
I mean, I respect the Giants defense. That's my opinion on it. So,
okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Steven?
Yeah. I like Andrews. I really don't think that you can really fade a tight end just because there's not many of them that can do much anyways. I mean, however you decide that you want to put your lineup together, if you want to pay more for that tight end, go right ahead, but you're gonna lose in other spots.
And, I mean, the running backs this week seem to be so cheap for me. I mean, when I was looking at some lineups early, I was able to pay up a little bit because of the cheap running backs. So just trying to determine, where to put that. But
right.
Yeah, I think I'd rather pay up for wide receiver though, personally. And Wink Martindale, he's a really good defensive coordinator. So he can scheme up some defenses that can really give Andrews trouble. So I don't know if I want to go there.
That makes sense. I may still plant my flag there, though. I think, for my money, he might be the best tight end in the league. He and Kelce, anyway.
Sure. Absolutely.
He's a talent. All right. We have to go to defenses now. It seems like on the primetime shows, because we always have these shitty games. Well, all we talk about is the defense.
Right.
But defense getting no love at all this week. I mean, it's hilarious that the highest owned defense right now, projection, single digits, the Saints, number one, and the Panthers, number two. So, all right, go ahead, Steven.
Like the Panthers, I like the Panthers. I hate the Rams. Like I was saying earlier, their offensive line is terrible. Matthew Stafford has been sacked. I don't even know how many times. It turns the ball over every game. So I like the Panthers defense. I'm gonna go the opposite side of that New Orleans game and pick the Bengals defense. I like the Bengals defense this week. And then I also like the 49ers defense this week. Going
49ers have a good defense. They are tough. Crash, what do you think?
I've pretty much got the same thing. 49ers, Bengals. I do like the Giants at only 2,600 on DraftKings. And then on Yahoo, the Rams are only $13, which that seems pretty ridiculous to me. I mean,
that's
they don't
have
a huge game to have, an impacting game at $13 on Yahoo. So
that's a misprice for sure. 49ers without Bosa, though, not the same. Good point from from Cali. Bosa is freaking phenomenal. No doubt about it. So, I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's a giveaway position like always. Like I say, every week, this is week 6, I still haven't had a really good defensive selection. So, I don't know, man. It's so hit or miss. It kills me. But I sort of like that Panthers call. It feels like there's going to be a lot of turmoil there with all that talk of trading their star player and just, it seems like teams tend to rally around that at times,
Another defense not to sleep on is the Jaguars. They have had the number of the Colts lately, and Jonathan Taylor and Nyheim Hines are both out. So that could be a long day for Matt Ryan.
Yeah, very interesting.
That's where Deion Jackson comes into play now.
Yeah, your guy Deion.
Yeah, he can come into play if you're just trying to fill that spot. So another guy that I think is a kind of a sneaky play is Robbie Anderson this week. I know you'd think like, oh my gosh, Robbie Anderson, how would you ever pick him? But 2 years ago when PJ Walker was the quarterback for
Houston?
For Carolina.
Oh, for Carolina.
Yeah. He was a starter for Carolina. Robbie Anderson had a pretty good year. Went for like 1,100 yards.
Oh yeah.
And PJ Walker was his his college quarterback. PJ Walker and
no kidding.
Yeah. Yep. So they have history together. He targeted him a lot back then. So
hey, Judge just homered. Sorry to interrupt you.
I told you.
I knew it. I put him in my lineup, but you were right. We should have gone with him instead of Alvarez. Sorry about that, but I knew it. All they had to do is get him out of that leadoff spot, brother. That was it. So, but I like your point there, Steven. That is outstanding. I'm going to take that for note. I like rostering because if you've seen his picture, he's got the hair all sticking out in points. Oh, yeah. It's an awesome when you look at your lineup and you see Robbie Anderson there. It makes me cheers me up. I like it. So very nice. All right. On the spot time. This is you guys hate this because you have no idea what's coming. So Crash, I'll have you go first in honor of your 40th birthday. Because after 40, you start forgetting things. Everything starts slipping away.
No, I'm already there.
So we gotta pick your brain. Pick your brain before it starts deteriorating like mine. So if you had to take one pay-up player, your highest paid player on your roster this week, and he's going to be in all your lineups, just one guy, who's it going to be?
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen. Okay. Same question to you, Steven.
I'm going to go with Justin Jefferson this week.
Ooh, and Crash is fading him. So we have a challenge here on the Justin Jefferson side.
Yep.
All right, we'll come back with the same question on the cheap. Who is your player? You're just locking him in. He's a super value. Ownership doesn't matter. So what if he's owned? Who you going with, Steven?
I'm going with Breece Hall. I think Breece Hall is going to have a heck of a game. He's trending in the right direction. He's very explosive, and they're using him, incredible out of the backfield too. I mean, so I really like Breece Hall, and I'm going to have him in all my lineups.
I love it. He's only 12% projected, so that makes a nice, play for leverage too. Crash.
Packers defense. I'm just kidding.
I'm
going to go with Tyler Lockett. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I like
All
him.
right. What's his price? He's 5,600. That's cheap.
Yeah. He's 73, I think, on FanDuel.
So he's a DraftKings play all the way. No doubt about it. All right. Excellent, man. I love it. All right. One more set of tickets, right? Don't we have to give a third one away? I think.
Yeah, I think we have a third one this week.
The third one to give away. I'll push the button if everybody's in here. All right. The third set of tickets, and don't forget, at DFS Coach Talk, you have to send me your email, PayPal email. It is boy from Cali. You haven't won in quite some time, sir, and he's one of our most attended people. So good to see a everydayer win. That's awesome, boy from Cali. You're a winner, and we'll see how if you could take the $1 million down. I think one of you three is going to win the $1 million tomorrow. That's my prediction. How's that? So there we go. Outstanding. All right,
present right there.
Yeah. Well, we kept this shorter, not as short as last week, but we're still doing better. So hopefully everybody can catch it and see what the get it in time for tomorrow. Now, as far as the schedule, I do have a baseball pod in the morning, I believe. Crash, don't we? Or we don't know who's in
yet. We're waiting to see what's going to happen. Yeah.
All right. So we'll see. Keep an eye out. That'll come up in the morning. Hopefully, I'll put the podcast schedule out in Discord, and I'll put it on Twitter for those non-members so they know what the schedule is tomorrow. And then, again, we got such a busy week coming in Coach Talk. It's unbelievable. Certainly join our Week 6 contest, as Crash put the link up in chat. Lanny's been doing a lot of talking, so he is the defending champ from last week. So we have to get after Lanny for sure. And we will we'll see if we can knock him out of there. But join that. And if you're on YouTube, hit that thumbs up on the way out. If you haven't already, we appreciate that. Make sure to subscribe and hit the alert. So let's go take down some of this baseball tonight and get ready to take down some more football tomorrow. Really appreciate you guys. It all worked out. The storms in both places there, but we had good connections. So that was a good thing to see. Yeah. And any final words, Steven?
We're going to go Boom Fantasy, right?
Boom Fantasy. See, if it wasn't for you guys, I'd be sunk. Yeah. What do you have for your two Boom Fantasy picks?
Boom Fantasy, I have Breece Hall over 19.5 receiving yards.
Okay.
And I have Geno Smith. I'm going to go kind of Crash's way with this, but I'm going to do Geno Smith over 10.5 rushing yards.
The scrambling quarterback play.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. Crash, what do you got?
David Njoku over 38.5 receiving yards. He's had at least 70 in his last 3 games.
Wow.
And Tyler Lockett over 67.5 receiving yards. I think he's going to go closer to 100.
I like both calls. Very, very nice. I love it. All right, Coach, I'll send you my stuff. So boy from Cali's the best, man. He always donates.
He is so generous. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. It stopped storming when the podcast started, Coach. So that was pretty cool.
Oh, that's a good sign. And your Packers are going to win tomorrow. You got your 40th birthday and the day off to enjoy with your beautiful wife there. What a day.
It might be 38-37 the way that Steve's predicting this thing, but hey, I'd take it.
Steve's overs have been like almost undefeated this year. So, people ask me sometimes, do you guys do betting shows like predicting games? If you listen to these podcasts and read into what you guys are saying, man, they have been great calls, overs, unders, guys, scoring a lot or not, just teams and play. So hopefully everybody can take advantage of that as well. So, all right, everybody, really appreciate everybody checking us out. And we'll be back hopefully tomorrow with some baseball. If not, then we have a busy week coming up with the NBA starting on Tuesday. So keep an eye out for my NBA preview show on Monday that'll get us set for DFS for the season as well. So appreciate you guys. Great job as usual. Crash, Steven, enjoy your Sunday. Everybody out there, we'll certainly be back again next week when we look to crush it in NFL, DFS, and boom, fantasy.